Hi, this is Aharon Dubinsky, coming to you today from the Hut Shel Chesed Yeshiva in the holy city of Yerushalayim in the beautiful country of Israel, under the auspices of our beloved rabbi and spiritual guide, Rabbi Shalom Arush. May Hashem bless him always. I've had some interesting comments over the last couple of weeks. People writing me notes telling me, hey, like my smile. Am I always this happy? Is this the way I live my life? The answer is yes, it is. I do live my life with a smile on my face most of the time. Why? Because I understand what we try to teach you. That everything comes from Hashem, it all has purpose, and that purpose is always for our ultimate best. Notice the key word here is ultimate. I didn't say for our best tomorrow, or tonight, or the day after tomorrow. It's our ultimate best. When is our ultimate best? That depends on us sometimes and what we do. Sometimes our ultimate best is next week. Sometimes it's today. Sometimes it's 10 years from now, and sometimes it's in Olam Haba. We don't know. The answer is we don't know, and we're very unlikely to find out. So, that's happiness. Now, on the other side of happiness, because there is a scale and it must be balanced, is sadness. There are a lot of things that are sad in the world. At least our perception of them is sad. You know, we see hunger, we see starvation. There are a myriad of things that happen to people on a daily basis. But most sadness that we perceive comes and goes. It may come back, but it goes. It comes, it goes. It's not a constant for the most part, at least not for us. But there is one sadness that is a constant. And to me, it's one of the saddest things in the entire universe. To be born into this world, to live a complete life, and then to leave this world and not have the first clue of why you're even here, why you had to go through all the trepidations, why you had to go through all the sadnesses, why you had to go through all the challenges, why you had to work so hard. There's 1,000 questions that cannot be answered until you know why you are here. Who are you? There's a great song in the 70s from The Who called Who Are You? Who? Well, who are you? Who are you? Well, you are a spark of the divine. Yeah, that's right. You are a piece of Hashem. He says in Bereshis, and Hashem, God, formed the man of soil from the earth and blew into his nostrils the soul of life. The man became a living soul. I use the word soul twice in case you missed it the first time. Soul. That's who you are. Our perception sometimes is a little bit warped. We think of ourselves as a body with a soul. No, my friends. We're a soul with a body. To think of yourself as a body with a soul is like buying a coat and thinking of yourself as a coat with a person in it. It's ridiculous. Why is it ridiculous? Because at one point or another, that coat's going to wear out. You're going to throw it in the trash heap, or you're going to give it to Goodwill, or whatever you do with your used clothes, and you're going to buy another one. And that's now going to be your coat. So, when you think of it that way, think of your soul as the same thing. Your body is good for 70, 80, B'ezrat Hashem, 120, maybe 160 years, who knows? Whatever Hashem is willing to give you, that's what your body is good for. What happens to your soul at the time of you leaving this earth, when your body is done? It goes back to Hashem. Why? Because it's a part of Hashem. It's a part of Him. Because of that, it says that we were created in His image. We've talked about this before. What does that mean? Well, since there's no physical image, there's only one meaning that is possible. We have the same midot that He has. It's that we have the happiness, we have the concerns, we have the worries for our children. We have all of the same things. So, conversely, He has all the things we have. Do you worry about your children? Do you have concerns that everything's going to go well for them? Of course you do. That's what makes you normal and a loving parent. Hashem is the same way. He also worries about His children. He wants them to be happy. I would ask you the question, you have how many children? You have 5. Oh, great. Okay, let me ask you this question. If you had a choice, which one of your children would you want to be unhappy in this life? None. I'm crazy to even ask the question. Okay, but we do the same thing all the time. Something bad happens to us and we go, Hashem, why do you hate me? Hashem, why are you treating me like this? What did I ever do wrong? Why are you hurting me? Does that sound familiar to anybody? Maybe not to that extent, but let's face it. We think this from time to time when things happen to us that we don't like, that we're uncomfortable with, that we feel we don't deserve. But let me remind you, the same as you don't want any of your children to be unhappy, He does not want any of His children to be unhappy. So He looks for us to do what we need to do. And He pushes us in a way sometimes that we may be uncomfortable with. Get over there, do what you're supposed to do. What's the matter with you? You're doing all this crazy stuff. You're a child of me, for heaven's sakes. He doesn't talk like that, but that's the idea you give me when you tell me that He wants you to be mean. He wants to be mean to you. He doesn't want to be mean to you. He doesn't want to punish you. Behavior modification. He wants to modify your behavior. How are you going to do things? You need to be going this way. You're going this way. So He wants to push you back. And what He does, gets you to push back. If you look at it as you look back on your life, and I realize it, and many of you are not my age or older, but those of you, when you get to this age, you will look back on your life and you will see all the times Hashem guided you in a way that at the time you may not have liked very much, but it got you to where you are today, and it got you to be the person you are and to be happy. Now remember, you have a soul that comes from Hashem. That's golden. There's no other way of putting it. Diamonds, maybe it's diamond, whatever it is. It's great. But let me ask you something, my friends. If you took that diamond or you took that gold and you sloshed it through mud and slime and muck and all the other things around you, how would it look to you? Well, that's part of why you're here, to clean up that soul, to polish it off, to keep it looking nice, to keep it in touch, in tune with its source, with Hashem. This is why we have it. And we have all of the different assets that He has. We have all of the different feelings in me, for the main part. We have forgiveness. We have love. We love our children. We love everything. We love chocolate. Okay, when we love chocolate is maybe not at the same kind of level, not the same madrega, but we do. It makes it happy. It makes us smile on our face. And so what we do is that we're happier people, we live a happier life, and we look for the things that we need to change. The things we need to change, I can give you a hint right now. The things that are most difficult for you in your life, that's them. Okay? That's them. That's why they're so difficult for you. I hear people say all the time, I wish I had so-and-so's tikkun. I wish I had to do his fixing. Don't believe me when I tell you this. He'd rather have yours as well. His is hard for him. Yours is hard for you. That's how you know it's yours. I'm going to tell you one more thing that you are, and this is very important to remember. We are one soul. I know we look like different people, and there's 18 million of us out there, walking around, doing our jobs, doing all the things we do on a daily basis. But the truth of the matter is, we are one soul. And we are one soul if for no other reason than the fact that we are part of the great part of Hashem, that He breathed into us a soul. That's why I have one. That's why you have one. That's why your nasty neighbor has one. That's why we have to look for the good in everybody, because we're all part of the same thing. We're all part of the same soul. But we don't realize that. What we see is individuals. And because of that, we have tendencies to sit in judgment. By the way, that's not our job. That's His. We have tendencies to be argumentative, even with people we should never argue with, like our spouses. We have a tendency to do the things that we are not supposed to be doing. Hashem helps us to get around those things, to do better, to fix those things, so that we can move on to the next level. It's like the story, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard this story. It was a cruise, and the crew hears this noise down in one of the cabins. They knock on the door, and the guy opens the door. What are you doing in there? So I'm drilling a hole in the boat. You can't do that. The boat will sink. What's the matter with you? You're crazy? No, I'm not crazy. This is my cabin. I paid for it. I can drill a hole in the wall if I want. Well, the people who knock on his door were right. He cannot drill a hole in that boat because the whole boat will go down. We are very similar to that situation. Everything we do, good or bad, everything we do, it affects all of us. It doesn't affect just one of us. It affects all of us. It affects all of Klal Yisrael. So we have to be so very careful as what we do. And we have to be so very careful in the lives we live to fix the things that need to be fixed and to do whatever it was Hashem sent us here to do. What is yours? I have no idea. Ask Him. That's why you have Hitbodedut. If you need more time, take a 6-hour Hitbodedut. Ask Hashem for clarity. Ask Hashem for guidance. He's more than happy to give it. You may not get it right now. You may not get it immediately. You may get it immediately. You never know. You might get it tomorrow. You might get it next week. At some point, you will get the clarity you asked for. So what are we? Well, there was a group in the 1970s called Kansas, and they said, all we are is dust in the wind. Wrong. We are not just dust in the wind. We have a purpose here. We have a life here. We need to know what our individual purpose is. What is it that we were put here to do? This will give meaning to our life, make our life happier. It will give us the kind of life that we want to live, a life of joy, a life of fulfillment, a life of love. It will help to take care of our own personal geula, which will bring us to the final redemption, the final geula, which brings us closer to Mashiach Tzidkenu and the third Beit HaMikdash, Bimhei Rabbi Yomeinu. Have a great Shabbos, my friends. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the life that God gave you. And remember, if you really want to enjoy something and you haven't taken care of it yet, make sure you call me or write to me by my email at the bottom, staff@breslev.co.il. Uman, Rosh Hashanah, Uman, Rosh Hashanah, Uman, Rosh Hashanah. If you've been, you know what an excitement time it is. If you haven't been, you owe it to yourself. It's the opportunity of a lifetime. And the Inn Uman is the only place to stay. It's the Ritz-Carlton of Uman. Come see us. Come be with us. Come spend Rosh Hashanah with me and the people that I work with. I guarantee you'll have the time of your life. Be well, my friends. A Chodesh Tov, Shabbat Shalom, Shana Tova, and make your life worth living. All the best.